What's good, y'all? I'm so hyped to talk about Spidops. Fucking love Spidops. Spidops is sick. Before I get into literally anything, if you're new here, I don't want to, alienate you from my audience. Check out the description down below if you've never heard of my ROM hacks before, or if you've never heard of Pokemon Scrambled Scarlet before. It's a very, very in-depth ROM hack. There is a Google Sheet link down below with all of the information you could ever want about the hack for the most part. All linked. Obviously, it's in development as of uploading this video, so depending on when you're watching this, all the other stuff isn't in yet, like the Pokemon changes and stuff. But in general, oh god, I messed up the alignment. Oh god, hold on, guys. I'll talk while I fix this. It's not that bad actually. So, Spidops, type change. I feel like I always need to at least somewhat explain. I mean, this one really isn't that. I hope it's not super controversial. It's pretty reasonable. I want him to mirror low kicks, not only in terms of typing, but in terms of stats. I think design-wise, Spidops, god damn it, it messed up the alignment again. Okay, let me just stop scrolling then. I'll scroll first just to show you guys low kick stats, to show the numbers, because yes, I did make their numbers match. Even Tarantoula, and Nimble, I made their stats also mirror each other a bit. With the 21-21, 41-41, they're all kind of like +5 intervals of one another as well. Same with Spidops and low kicks being 36-36, 71 HP for both of them. You guys can see the numbers and compare them. They are similar numbers. So like 77 versus 87, 82 versus 102. You guys get the idea. And they also both share the ability Unburden, which I'll get into in a bit for how good that is. It's incredible. But yeah, the typing, I mean, really, there's no other dual type that fits Spidops, and I'm fine with pure type Pokemon. However, pure bug specifically is literally only useful defensively, and it's actually a pretty great defensive typing, at least in game, pure bug. But at the end of the day, like, I don't want my fast offensive bug type to be a pure bug type. Like, that's just bad. And I think fighting genuinely does fit his design very well. He's got like that fighting style, the fighting stance, his personality, everything really fits fighting pretty well. And of course, he's going to be very different from other bug fighting types like Heracross and Slitherwing in terms of stat distribution and abilities and move pool and stuff. So they'll all have their own things that they can do. And yeah, Spidops is sick. I already said it at the beginning, but I just want to say it again. He really is cool. 3 great abilities, of which you can switch between at any point in the game, whenever you want. You're kind of the game is balanced that you're switching between your abilities frequently. So you have expertise for a boosting ability. Obviously, he is an expert at like laying traps and taking out things. Like he's an expert. He's an expert weaver, web weaver. So expertise fits very well. And then, of course, that also lets him do things. Well, not only does he get a 25% damage boost off of 102 base attack, which is very strong. I don't feel like doing all the math right now, but I mean, a 25% boost off of a base attack stat is very, very strong. It's almost a free life orb at that point. Not quite a life orb, but it's basically almost a free life orb. Very, very strong. And then, of course, you also get additional effects triggering twice. So moves that drop stats like... I'd say the most noteworthy one here would be Lunge. Lunge will drop attack and special attack by -2, which is great defensively. That makes him really good. You can run like a bulky set with expertise and like Silk Trap and all this fun. You have so many ways you can build Spidops now, which is sick. Because in this hack you are able to change your abilities and moves at will with Infinite Relearner, and ability changers and EV spreads can also be changed at will. So you can run like a bulky max HP Phys-Def Spidops for one fight to counter one Pokemon on that opponent's team, and then the next fight keep your Spidops and then change it to a faster offensive set with Unburden or whatever, So really you've got tons and tons of creativity you can express with your Pokemon now, which is why I balanced the game around Teamlocked. You can listen to more about what that is if you don't know in the description down below. There's a video explaining what that playstyle is. So definitely give that a look. But basically, you're supposed to keep your teammates the whole game unless they die. Tarantoula, very, very good up until level 22. Initially, I had them as level 20 evos and 480 BST, but one of my friends was convincing me to do 500 and give them a little bit of extra stuff. And I do love these guys, so I was like, fuck it, why not? And then as for level 20 versus 22 evo, it's literally only one boss fight difference. So I was like, fuck it, fine, they can do that. Because I do have rules like 20 evo is 480. If they're a single stage, that type of deal. But yeah, Tarantoula, very bulky. Technician I gave because they are, they make webs and stuff. It fits pretty well, and it's also good for early game, and it makes their 47 base attack actually pretty good. With things like, especially depending on the path you're playing, like you might get bug biting. Well, you'll definitely get bug biting before you evolve. via TM, and that's a 105 base power move with Technician. Leech Life is 90 base power with Technician and heals you by 100% of damage, so those are all really good. Creeping Strike is priority. Bug type Quick Attack, so that's great as well, or Bug type Shadow Sneak, I could say. So that's very good with Technician as well. Tangling Hair is great for bulkier sets. You have Molt, which functions like Recover. So you have Molt plus, Tangling Hair. You can switch around, you can U-turn out, and then you can outspeed the Pokemon with somebody else. Or you can just stay in and, Defense Curl, Tangling Hair, Molt, be Stally with Infestation and Silk Trap and all this Stally stuff. Silk Trap is an extremely unique tool. In this game, Protect is removed from the player because it's a really broken tool with setup, because Quick Claw, which is a single-use guaranteed triggering item, would easily be bypassed in terms of like sweeping. Like you could sweep. I mean, honestly, sweeping still might end up being a little bit OP, even though I've nerfed all the setup moves and limited it. It still might end up being OP if you know what you're doing and you know how to cook. Because especially with Unburden, like Unburden is pretty crazy. But if there's a Quick Claw Pokemon in the back, it can kind of stop the setup because you'll need to run an Endure, which obviously won't protect you from all the damage. Nor will it protect you from like a sleep move or whatever else. But if the Pokemon has a Protect clone, they get to keep it, and Spidops obviously gets to keep Silk Trap. So with Unburden, like he can definitely get some free sweeps if you plan accordingly and like figure out your moveset and your EV spread and all that stuff. At level 50, at the end of the game, there's still a lot of fights left. To be fair, at level 50 you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 9 more at the end of the game. So you have like 18 bosses still. Honestly, I might even push Finishing Blow further to like level 55 if I'm being real. It's a really, really strong move. It's Fell Stinger, right? It also always crits, but it's Fell Stinger. So with Unburden and the Quick Claw, that's very good. Of course, Unburden is great for you can switch to Unburden when you need to outspeed things that you don't outspeed with Scarf, or if you're using your Choice Scarf on somebody else, because this game is balanced around item claws. On top of the Teamlocked Nuzlocke, again, watch the video if you haven't watched it already in the description. But yeah, basically you can go for that Unburden. There's also other, you can also use Trigger Unburden in a bunch of other ways. Endure, especially with Reliner, like Unburden is so much more flexible now. Even simple things like Endure plus Lychee Berry Unburden is great, genuinely, especially because you have Silk Trap to avoid certain moves later on, like any first impressions on the opponent's team, or Quick Claws. You can burn those up by clicking Silk Trap. So yeah, not to mention Silk Trap is also great just for the for the offensive utility it provides with the speed drop. So you can send Spidops in on something, Silk Trap to bait a contact move, depending on what Pokemon is in front of you, and then you can outspeed and kill them with an expertise boosted move after the Silk Trap lowers their speed and lets you outspeed them, if you don't naturally outspeed already or use Unburden to outspeed. So those two abilities are great. And then the last slot, people who are less informed or don't know like how the game will play, might think this is a bad ability, but it's actually a really, really, really useful ability, especially with item claws, only limiting you to one eject button. And in this ROM hack, unlike Sweltering Sun, eject button is a single use item again. So basically you get one eject button, one use the whole fight. Which is, obviously all Pokemon have, pretty much all Pokemon have at least one switch move in this game, because there are 6 options to choose from, I believe, right? Baton Pass, Teleport, U-turn, Lip Turn, Volt Switch, 5. Parting Shot, 6, yeah. So there's 6 options, so I can usually stretch one of them at least on every Pokemon, and most of them fit one of those 6, to be fair. Maybe a couple are like a little bit of a reach, and every once in a while there'll be somebody who really doesn't fit any at all, and I won't give them any, but you get the point. Point is, yes, you have switch moves, but being able to just switch your guy in and then get that free pivot into somebody else is incredibly, it's such a valuable strategic ability, and it really rewards like strategizing and planning. So yeah, Wimp Out and Tactical Retreat are both 2 great abilities, and Tactical Retreat also fits his design, and like even the way he moves around in the overworld, it fits very, very well. So I'm very happy with all 3 of his abilities. I think they fit perfectly. Burden also fits him very, very well in terms of his vibes and his animations and just what type of Pokemon he is. I really like these 3 ability choices on him. He's got a good amount of coverage. Nothing too crazy, but it doesn't need nothing too crazy to be honest. Of course, you also have Terra later on, RNG'd, which can go really well with specific moves. What is this text? Okay, it's just my food. Okay, I got time, although it's low-key coming in like 10 minutes. But all right, I think I've covered pretty much everything anyways. Yeah, stats, I think they all fit pretty well. It's about the highest end I could see. I could even stretch them a little bit higher, but I think these are reasonable and fitting. He's like semi-bulky, and he's bulky and fast at the same time, right? And that's really good for versatility, because you can like switch around your sets at will and run a bulky set, like I said. Then the next fight run an offensive set, then run a utility set, then run a, you know, it's so flexible. Again, these 3 ability slots are great. Gives him tons of wiggle room and flexibility there too. Bug fighting, I guess I can elaborate a little bit more, although yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit more. The only other type combo that, so I was considering a bunch of them, right? Bug normal, which is pretty dumb on him, doesn't really make any sense. Bug dark kind of fits, but low kicks is literally right there, so I don't know why I would ever do that. And I think fighting also just fits way more than dark anyways. And then the last option that I think is like a decent choice is ground, because he like digs under the ground to like build. Like, I don't know, like, you know, spiders, like, they'll fuck. Oh, first of all, his color scheme kind of fits it. And, I mean, again, it's a reach. That's why I didn't do it, because it doesn't really make that much sense. But you could reach, if you really wanted to, ground. That's the only other type I really think you could reach. But honestly, I feel like fighting is a given. It's free. It actually does fit him. So, I think I covered pretty much everything. Tarantoula, like I said, is great for early game. And then you could even, I mean, if you love Tarantoula, you could fucking keep them if you want to. Like, you totally could make them work. They're bulky enough, and they have good enough moves and stuff. If you wanted to keep them past level 22, at least you could delay a bit, at least, maybe for like a specific gym leader or boss fight or strategy. But yeah, thank you for listening. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Leave a comment if you listened this far into the video. Shout out to you if you did. And I'll be back for more. Peace.